Okay. All right. All right, we're live on the stream. If you could hit it, Joe, when you get a moment during the open, if you could just retweet it on the GR account. Thank you so much. All right, gentlemen, here we go. Let's have a good segment here.
So have fun.
All right.
Back up a smidge for me, dude. I
Yep.
just want to see Jim. That's all.
Good.
All right. We're rebuilding all the bunkers.
Got it. Good morning, everybody. Just after 7 o'clock, we welcome you in live to another edition of Tee to Green here on Memorial Day weekend here on WGR Sports Radio 550. Brian Koziel, PGA Pro Jeff Meadis. We're on site here this weekend, Lockport at Willowbrook Golf Course. Excited to be here for the first time in our show here over the many years that we've been traveling around Western New York. Kevin Sylvester, part of our team, going to be joining us a little bit later on in the show. He is part of PGA Tour Live's coverage this week. If you've been watching the stream of the Charles Schwab Challenge at Colonial, we'll get a PGA Tour update from Kevin coming up at 7:45. Jeff Blank this week has the weekend off for Memorial Day weekend. I know.
Jeez.
I know.
We're paying them too much. Too much vacation time.
I know.
Yeah.
Happy Memorial Day weekend, everybody.
That's right. Yeah, it's a big weekend. Yeah. Usually it's a big golf weekend. Hopefully we can squeeze in something Monday, but the weather's not been conducive for everybody to get out there so far, or garden.
It has not been great, but yeah, there are golfers here at Willowbrook where we are this morning.
We call those married. You know, that's my story.
I know you love
that's
that.
my joke.
we'll have a couple of guests here coming up here in just a moment from Willowbrook, but we are inside their pro shop, out overlooking a couple of the first tees. There are 27 holes here. We'll talk about the golf course coming up here in just one moment, but quickly before we get into our guests, the big news of the week. I know we're going to talk a little bit more expansively about this in our second segment, but last week, a big major on the PGA Tour and the PGA Championship, and Scotty Scheffler gets another major. On Sunday, he was kind of making it a blowout. Then it got close, and then he pulled away again at the end.
From 6 up to even to winning by 5. A lot of excitement. I think the PGA, that's, we talked about the golf course a lot that week, and there was a lot of comments about, but I think this is what the PGA is looking for, those swings when they pick these golf courses and have these setups, so you get those kind of swings. And I think Scotty cemented himself maybe as a Hall of Famer with that win, because now he's got 3 majors. He's on fire. He's the best player in the world.
Yep.
Him and Rory are going to be battling out hopefully all summer, and that'll be fun to watch.
I agree. For sure. All right, let's bring in our guests here from Willowbrook. Again, more on Scheffler's win coming up in our second segment. Jeff and I will break it down a little bit more. But Jim Furlong, the PGA professional here from Willowbrook, who's been here a long time. We'll talk to Jim in a moment. And managing partner, Matthew Martin. Jim, Matt, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, guys.
Yeah,
thanks for being here this week.
Yeah, Jim and I go way back. We've known each other a while.
You guys.
Together,
It seems like when we go to courses all across Western New York, Jeff, you've got a connection with every pro at some point here.
Well, that's the PGA. Yeah, where it's a fraternity. Yes,
it is.
It's a group of people that are in the same industry, so you kind of have a laugh about things, and you understand what everybody's doing. And we understand, Matt, you just bought yourself a golf course recently. Congratulations to you.
Thank you very much. Closed in December. We're super excited about it.
Careful what you wish for. Yeah, you're gonna be busy now.
Yeah,
so how's that? What's that like to buy a golf course? And now tell us the story. You grew up around here, from what I understand. You're from the area.
Yeah, so I grew up literally about 2 minutes up the road.
Mm-hmm.
My first job was here. I was 14 years old. As a cart boy.
Okay, cart boy. Yep.
14 and 15, my first job, and first membership was here at Willowbrook. So I always had an affinity for Willowbrook, and when I was 14, 15, 16 years old, playing 36, 45 holes golf every day.
Not a bad life.
At the golf course,
yeah,
and just play every day, and then life happened, and got away from playing golf for a little bit. But when this came available, just felt the need to come down and check it out, and And one thing led to another. Within a week, we had it under contract and moving forward to a purchase.
It didn't even hit the market. No, yeah, that's
It
good.
was out there for a few days, but we were progressive with our desire to move forward with the purchase. So,
And it's a pretty cool, unique spot, right? Because this is 27 holes. Most facilities are 18 or 9. Yeah, this is a little different up here in Lockport. 27 holes.
Yeah, it's a great setup. There's 3 nines that all have their own unique characteristics. There's a full practice facility with a full grass tee, 3 practice greens, a 100-yard practice hole. So very unique for Niagara County. Great spot to come up and work on your game.
And you guys, it sounds like, are doing some things to make the place a little bit better. There's a bunker project going in or something. You were talking about as we were getting warmed up this morning.
Yeah, we're rebuilding all the bunkers after 45 years that they've been out there. We've completed 6 of them already, all new drainage, all new pea stone, all new sand in them. We have about 35 more to go, and we hope to get through at least half of them this season.
It's a big project.
It is a big project.
People don't understand how big a bunker project can actually be. Yes.
Yeah, a couple of them are small, but some of them are large, and you need to run more drainage. So it's exciting to see. The 5 that we've completed already have withstood all the rain this spring with no puddles in them.
That's great.
They're not compacted anymore, and the membership and the general play here is really happy to see it.
Yeah, that's awesome. How about just tell us a little bit about the setup here? As Jeff mentioned, it's 27 haven't been here before, haven't been here in a while. The North 9, I guess I always say it's the newer 9, but it's been here a while now. But can you tell everybody about the setup, the 3 nines and the 27 holes, and that obviously, for those that like to play it maybe on a more regular basis, it makes it kind of a fresh outing each time.
Yeah, there's a lot of variety because we mix the sides up on a daily basis, so it's not always the same pattern. You're not always playing the south and west together. Some days you might play the north-south or the northwest. They're all unique. The south and the west being the original 18, and as you said, Brian, the north course is referred to as the newer one. It's actually 25 years old now. More of what people would think of as a modern golf course. The other 2 more of an older style parkland type of facility. But it gives you a lot of variety and a lot of options to get out here and play because we generally can fit you on here with 27 holes.
The other thing I think of when I think of this place is junior golf. I think East Aurora, and I think of you guys as doing the most for junior golf in the area. You've always been good, Jim, about getting juniors out. You've had some exciting. Anthony Denosante, we love to hear about him. I know he's from here. He's a excellent player on the college ranks, a high-end D1 player. Don't you? You were telling me before the show there's some programs you're running for juniors, families, and stuff like that to promote and stimulate kids and families getting out to play.
Yeah, we're probably the biggest supporter of junior golf you'll ever find. We host the Western New York PGA Tour. We host the Buffalo District Championships each year. We've hosted the state qualifiers for the juniors. We have what's called family golf every weekend here after 3 o'clock. It makes it very affordable. Kids are $10, and any adults who come with them are free.
Right. That's a good
so
deal.
it's a great way to get people out on the golf course. Myself, I grew up playing at Cas Park in South Buffalo. My dad didn't have a ton of money. So we want to be able to provide an opportunity for kids to get out here and play.
Yeah, I grew up playing Delaware, so I know the deal. But so that's great. So families can come out, they can play on a weekend afternoon, head to the restaurant afterwards, just enjoy their evening. Your restaurant, you're keeping open year round now, right?
The restaurant's now going to be open year round. Matt's got some great ideas to roll through the winter, Sunday brunches through the winter time, live music in the restaurant. Some new exciting things going on down there.
Matt, how about just taking on not only 27 holes, but a restaurant, a pro shop, obviously a big staff? What's that been like for you?
It's been a learning experience for sure.
Yeah.
For the first few months, and obviously closing on it in December. We were able to kind of get in and learn a lot before our season kicked off here. So it's been super exciting. A lot to take on, but we're excited about it. Like Jim said, for the restaurant, really excited about that because the restaurant has always been here to serve the golf course.
Yeah,
and it's truly an asset that we want to improve and keep open all year round and drive business there. So,
And the restaurant, obviously, as the golf course is, public facility, you invite anybody to come that wants to partake in it.
absolutely correct. Yeah, you don't have to be a golfer to come.
That's great.
Visit our restaurant.
Yeah, I think one thing that we're seeing with golf courses across Western New York is trying to offer different ways to not only entertain beyond just golf itself, but Jeff, I know a big proponent of the PGA has always been to play 9.
Mhm.
We always say, look, one of maybe a hurdle for golf sometimes is the time commitment, but
Right. And the cost.
yeah, to be able to play 9 in an affordable place like this is obviously something that sets up in line with what the PGA's vision is.
Yeah, and the more people you introduce to the game, the better it is. And that's why I love when clubs take something like a junior program seriously, because those are your future members, and that's what brings families to the facilities too. If you restrict kids from coming here, make it hard for kids to play on a week, whatever it is, all you're doing is pushing them into something else. You push them into another habit that they'll create on those weekends instead of creating the golf habit. And who doesn't want to spend time out in the golf course with their kids and then go and have some chicken wings and a burger afterwards and have a few laughs at the shot yet. So that's why I love when you hear those stories and then you see success stories. You got to have juniors around here looking up to Anthony Delasante. Tell people a little bit about Anthony. I know he works here, or he did work here, and he might be a little too big time for working here anymore, huh?
Well, his schedule's a little crowded this summer. He just graduated from Valparaiso. He's worked here and played here all since he's been 10 years old. 7 college victories, two conference championships, 3 NCAA appearances.
Other than that,
probably the best player in Western New York in a long time, in my opinion.
I would agree.
He started here in our junior program. We run a 6-week program every summer, hour and a half each week. We have between 150 and 160 kids take part in it every summer. Besides him, we've also had probably another 15 to 20 kids go on to play college golf. My assistant manager, Kennedy Lang, has played in the national championships for Division II twice. So did her brothers. We've had several other kids play all across the country. And I think we're up to now almost 30 kids that have played varsity high school golf now, all from Willowbrook.
Quite a golf culture. You've created a golf culture here at Willowbrook.
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to watch all these kids come out, and then as they grow up, as you said, Jeff, they turn into future members for you. And they bring their friends and they bring their dads and uncles along with them.
Go ahead.
We have a new young man. I'd like to give him a little plug. Braden Lee. He's a freshman at Starpoint. He plays out of here now, and he just made the New York State golf team. He's going to play in the state championships this coming month.
Yeah, Braden's a good player. I just know from
you're a high school coach. Yes,
I coach high school golf at Sweet Home, and we play against Starpoint, so I know all about Braden. And he's a very good golfer, and I've had conversations with his father. Good family, and he's a good player. So congrats to Braden, and another maybe step in the many golfers here that come. We've been to facilities across Western New York that do a good job with juniors. You guys are one of the best. Why is that important to both of you to keep juniors going? I know you say yes, they may turn into members at some point. So of course there's an angle that can benefit the course, but why do you value that so much, Jim, as a PGA pro?
Well, for myself, I think it's a great way for a young person to grow up at the golf course. You instantly learn respect, you instantly learn etiquette, and you learn how to deal with adults at a young age. I can remember being dropped off at the golf course, as Matt can remember being dropped off here. And you have to grow up pretty quickly and realize you're not just here to goof around. You can have a lot of fun, but it's a good way to watch these kids grow and expand their own lives.
I remember growing up playing Delaware. My dad made me wear a collared shirt and nice shorts if I went to play. He didn't care where you were playing. You dressed like a gentleman and you acted like a gentleman then. And I think that's a great thing, Matt. Now you grew up like you had one of the best summer jobs probably ever, working in the car barn at a country club. Yeah. Tell us a little bit about that. That had to be a blast.
Yeah. It was nerve-wracking. You know, a 14-year-old
don't know how to drive a car. Yeah.
And learning it all. It was a lot on a 14-year-old. There's a lot of responsibilities as a cart boy that we were responsible for, and it definitely taught me. And I grew up quick. Learning and customer experience and making sure everybody had their carts, they were clean. range balls, all that.
And don't you think that helped you going forward? Like my kids both worked in the bag room and they learned customer service. They learned you can never have a bad day. They learned to be polite and kind to everybody. And they learned a work ethic because, 5:30 in the morning at a country club or at a golf course means 5:30, you're ready to go.
Here early,
and
early, Saturdays and Sundays. So it taught a lot of responsibility. In fact, my kids, I have 4 kids, and they're all going to come down here and work. Their first job is going to be, my sons will be a cart boy, and the girls are going to be working the restaurant. So, it's going to be very helpful for them.
That's great. Matthew Martin, managing partner here at Willowbrook, and Jim Furlong, the PGA professional, joining us here on Tee to Green on WGR. If you want to watch our live video stream, we're on X, Twitter, we're on Instagram, we're on YouTube, on our social pages at T2G Buffalo, as we're set up here in the pro shop. We normally love to be outside. Of course, it's raining and 46 out, but the dedicated golfers of Western New York, that's not stopping them here on Memorial Day weekend. We got a lot of players out here.
it still looks very lush. Yes, it's very green.
Yeah, the course looks in great shape.
Yes. Well, no one's been out there. That's the problem. Yeah.
The course is in great shape. I want to give a good shout out to our superintendent, Jason Collins, and his crew. They've done a fabulous job this year. Our membership and regulars are very pleased with the conditions of the greens and watching the new bunker project come to fruition.
That's awesome. Matt, when you worked here, did you have dreams of someday I want to own a golf course, or did just the opportunity arise when you heard it was maybe available at that time?
Yeah. So obviously growing up, I loved playing golf,
Yeah.
but never, back then did I dream of owning a golf course. I was wanting to get involved in real estate at a young age, which I did, and which I was. But then when I saw this pop up, just a pull to say, hey, I got to go check it out. And came down here, visited with Jim and former ownership. And when I left here that day, I just said, something we got to do. So
Different kind of real estate, a lot of grass.
yeah, I tried to say, okay, this is real estate too. So I tried to make it fit within what I was trying to do. But it was just, it was such a strong pull to come back here and realize that, we could do, special things here and improve upon what previous ownership had built here.
One thing I will say, Jeff, if you want to jump in on this too, for the courses that we go to that have changed from ownership outside of Western New York to local owners, we've seen huge strides and success, and the connections with the people that come to play is always important.
Well, they've got a vested interest.
Yeah.
They're from the neighborhood. They grew up here. They care for the place. When you care about a place, when you care about your business, it reflects, and your customers know that, and the people walking through the door know that. And you create a culture, and you create a space that people want to be in and want to go to. So it starts when you walk through the door, right? It starts with how you get greeted at the halfway house. So all those things, you lead from the top, and that atmosphere permeates the whole staff, and then people enjoy coming, and that's how you grow business. And that's why it succeeds with local ownership as opposed to corporate ownership out of town or somewhere in New York City, just looking at numbers. Yeah, this is a people business.
Yeah. And speaking of people business here, we're here at Willowbrook today, courtesy of our partner, Michelob Ultra. Michelob Ultra, one of our longtime partners.
You guys must sell a lot of Michelob Ultra.
They
absolutely sell a lot of Mick Ultra.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
We each year with them, they select a course for us to go to on our radio shows, and they chose here. So maybe we can just give Michelob Ultra a little love here for choosing Willowbrook, but also just the ownership aspect that you do have to deal with a lot of different partners here to manage to make this course successful.
You want to speak to Michelob Ultra?
Yeah.
Sure. We're super excited and happy that we were chosen by the Michelob Ultra and the Try It Distribution Corporation. Our previous rep, Ange, I want to thank him for helping us with getting into this contest and being able to win this. And Mr. Vuklik at Try It. Jeff and I both know him from years ago at Lancaster.
Yep.
It's a great thing that they do to help sponsor the PGA and the PGA Tour. And we're just really happy that you're able to be here as part of it.
And you're running a special in conjunction with this week, right?
Yeah, in conjunction with the Tee to Green program today, anybody who walks in today, tomorrow, or Monday and uses the code word Tee to Green will receive a complimentary large practice balls to go out onto the range. And they'll also receive a $10 off coupon, good towards golf, till the end of June.
Okay, awesome. So everybody hear that? You're going to get $10. You get the free range balls and $10 credit. So Mention Tee to Green when you walk in.
Tee to Green making your life better.
That's right.
All
That's
the time.
right.
All the time.
If you're listening and you're driving to Willowbrook right now, or if you're driving around thinking I should probably be working on my game, you can come here, get your bucket here. So make sure you come in and greet the friendly staff and tell them, hey, I want that Tee to Green special here for this weekend. Yeah, we're happy to be here. So the 27 holes itself, just a little bit more on the golf course. From my experience from playing it, what I like is that the 3 9s, Jim, are so different. And I'll let you know it better than me, but the South is a tighter 9.
Yes.
The West is a little more wide open 9, and the North, I feel like it has that championship golf course feel to it. It's got the great layout. So if you want to talk about maybe what you like about the 9s itself, but I like the fact I feel like I'm playing almost three different golf courses when I'm here.
You are. It's very unique in that the 3 have their own personalities. The South, exactly what you said, Brian, is definitely the tightest of the 3. And it's unique in that it has 3 par 3s and 3 par 5s. The West is more of a little bit of an open 9, and the North is definitely a championship 9 holes. If you can play on the North and put up any kind of score, you've had a great day. Typically here, we see the lowest scores on the South, even though it's the narrowest, because of the 3 par 5s and 3 par 3s. And although the West is considered by a lot of the regulars to be the easier of the 3, I've never seen anyone, including our best player, ever really go tear it up.
Yeah.
The greens are
Smaller,
old and they're smaller. Some of them are a little Donald Rosh's, where they roll off on all the edges. So your effective target zone on the West greens is smaller than you actually think.
Well, you mentioned the South and managing your game and being tighter. Perfect transition here into our Western New York PGA tip of the week, brought to you by the Western New York PGA, which has one goal: promoting and growing the game of golf today, tomorrow, and beyond. Let's get Jim, your expertise, Jeff, your expertise on course management decisions. Let's say I'm playing the South 9 here after the show today here. What are some things that you think are important when it goes into managing decisions of playing maybe a tighter hole or a tighter course, or a hole with a dog leg, or maybe something where there's a creek involved? How about the decision making that you would advise people to do with that?
I try to teach my students that they should play the hole in their head backwards. They should think about from the green coming back to the tee. It helps them to realize where they actually want to land their tee shot, so that they can plan for their second shot. There's a lot of holes on the South course out here. You don't pull a driver out. If you do, you can gain a serious advantage if you can hit it really straight. But for the most part, we play a lot of hybrids or long irons off the tees on the South, with the exception of a couple of holes like our opening hole, number 10 on the South.
Yeah.
But then you have the second decision. It's a par 5. There's a creek right in front of the green. The green's sort of an island. Are you going to go for it in 2, or are you going to lay up? So it just depends on where you are able to put that first ball off into play.
I like what you're saying there, because when you create a plan, if you don't have a plan, you plan to fail, right? So
Yes.
if you have a plan and you're going to decide how to play these courses, you look at the tour players, they have plans for playing the course for the week. They stick to their plans. That's why you watch Tiger not hit a driver at the British Open for 4 rounds years ago. So I think when you have a plan, it also narrows your focus. So the psychological part of it is, hey, so I got a plan to play this well. I want to hit a driver 4 iron into this par 5, but I got to hit a good drive. But for me to have an angle, I have to be here, here, or here. So it does narrow your target. So then you focus on a smaller target and you focus on the goal, as opposed to, and you get into your process as opposed to thinking about the extraneous stuff, or get up, where do I hit it, or whatever, or thinking about what negatives could happen after that or due to the shot. So if you focus on just the positive things, hey, if I hit it here, I can hit it there, and I can do this and that, then your plan may change. Yeah. But if you have a plan, it does help you focus and stick to. And if you've played a golf course before, on your way to the course, you could think of a plan. How am I going to play this golf course today? You got to think of things like weather, the wind,
Yep.
All the other factors. Are the greens firm? Is it super wet out there today? Is it cold? But if you have a plan and you stick to your plan, you're always going to play better.
That's one thing too. It's tough sometimes of thinking about the next shot while you're taking the previous shot. That's something I know that maybe a lot of us do as well.
I remember being a college coach, and being on like the 12th hole, and I'd have my players come to me, oh, I'm worried about what to hit on 13. Who cares? You haven't got the 13. Let's finish 12 here and then go from there. And yeah, you always hear this. It sounds so whatever, but it's one shot at a time, one day at a time, all that stuff. It makes a ton of sense in golf because every shot you hit, you got to go hit the next one. So you're going to have to react to that anyway. So whatever you thought you were going to do, your plan always gets thrown out the window. But if you have a plan, you're going to be a better player and you have a better chance to avoid those big numbers.
Good tips there from Jim and Jeff from our PGA pros. Again, you can get the latest information on getting yourself involved in the game at wnypga.com. If you want to get your son or daughter involved in their junior possibilities, they've got PGA Junior League. They've got they got the Junior Tour, which I know you guys have hold events here regularly, and also Drive, Chip, and Putt, which is a free event. Any age, any level, it's a great day. It's not even a long commitment. We'd always suggest you doing that. Again, wnypga.com. Speaking of events, Jim, I know if people want to have a tournament here, that's something that you guys can offer. I know you've got a couple of openings, right?
Yeah, we still have a few open dates for the season. Again, with the 27 holes, we're fairly unique. We can hold extremely large events here. We have a couple of events here that actually bring 240 golfers and almost 300 for dinner. They take the entire golf course, all 27 holes, with 2, sometimes 3 groups on each hole. So it's really set up well. The restaurant works well. There's 2 patios out on the back looking over the lake on the 9th hole, front one for registration. Really large practice facility that they're able to use before the tournament. So anybody who's looking for a group, feel free to give us a call.
Yeah, and you have a good PGA professional to run the event for you, so that makes it easier too.
Well, thank you very much.
If you want to make a tee time here at Willowbrook, 716-434-0111, or you can book online, willowbrookWNY.com. I have both those right?
Absolutely.
Awesome.
And that is one of the other new things here this year. We're finally up into the correct century. We've just started with new software to have online tee times now. Where in the past, imagine that, Jeff, in 2025. So we started that this past Monday, and you can jump on at midnight if you'd like and book yourself a tee time.
That's awesome. Well, Matthew, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And appreciate everything you do. And part of the reason we do this show, we love the game. We want to help grow it and have everybody else enjoy it. And it seems like you and Jim, you guys have that similar mission here at Willowbrook.
Absolutely. We bought it with the intent to grow, do our part to help grow the game. So
Awesome.
We're super excited about it.
Congrats and good luck with the new ownership team. And Jim, thank you for everything you do for golf in West New York. Appreciate you having us up here today.
Oh, my pleasure. Thanks for coming out today, guys.
Awesome. Again, Willowbrook, WNY.com to make a tee time, 716-434-0111, or you can come on in here into the pro shop and introduce yourself to Jim, and he'll get you set up. If you want to get your son or daughter involved in the game, a great junior program here at Willowbrook. Okay, we're going to take our first time out here on Tee to Green on WGR, or if you're watching on our live stream on X or on Instagram or on YouTube at T2G Buffalo, you can watch us there. We're waving into the camera right now. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. PGA Pro Jeff Meadis, Brian Colsey with you here. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about Scotty Scheffler's win. Kevin Sylvester is at the Charles Schwab Challenge at Colonial down in Fort Worth. We'll get an update on what's happening there at 7:45. Tee to Green live at Willowbrook Golf Course here in Lockport. Thanks for being with us. Happy Memorial Day weekend, everybody. More Tee to Green coming up right after this on WGR. That's okay. Put them up. Make it an action shot here. Oh, we're taking a picture. Awesome. Thank you. That's great. Thanks. Thanks, guys. Great to meet you. Good luck. All right, Joe. Good job there. Awesome. So I didn't. Okay, beautiful. I apologize about. I didn't mean to make you on some chase for the password. I just figured it was on a computer somewhere there already. Yeah, I know. No worries. Oh,
Okay.
And I potted down one.
No, this isn't the break for the tour report.
No, that'll
That's
be the
Kevin.
last one. This is just you and I on Scheffler and
Got it.
Yep. Awesome, Joe. Thank you so much. Good job getting that. Oh no. Don't worry. Please don't. No problem. You got something is awesome. So. All right, that was good.
That was a good segment.
Yeah. That was great, Jim. 20 seconds. Okay. That's now PGA champion Scotty Scheffler. He picked up his third major win as he has now won 2 Masters and a PGA championship. He kind of pulls away there at the end, Jeff Meadis, as we welcome you back here to Willowbrook Golf Course in Lockport. Want to thank PGA professional Jim Furlong and managing partner Matthew Martin for joining us last segment. Again, if you want to make a tee time here at Willowbrook, 716-434-0111, or you can book online at willowbrookWNY.com. And again, we're here at Willowbrook today, courtesy of our partner, Michelob Ultra. All right, so Scheffler's win. I mean, interesting final round. He goes in with a lead. We all feel like he's got
a lock.
He's a lock. And then all of a sudden, we get right to the start of the back nine, and him and Jon Rahm are tied. You've got 3 or 4 other golfers that are at 8 under and 7 under. They were tied at 9 under. And then as the back nine starts, Scheffler just plays outstanding golf and eventually pulls away. He's up by 6, walking to the 18th. He ends up bogeying and winning by 5. But in some sense, Jeff, it was kind of Tiger-like in the sense that every time you saw players in the past, remember when Tiger and somebody else or a couple golfers would be close, they would somehow fall apart. Tiger would be steady or Tiger would pull away. And that's exactly what Scheffler did.
Yeah, didn't Tiger out? Hogan and a lot of great players just said, let the other guy make the mistakes.
Yeah.
And Scotty just made the fewest amount of mistakes. You're going to make mistakes. It's a major championship. You're going to make bogeys. You have to accept that. I watched Scotty a lot lately. He's one of the mentally toughest players I've seen out there. Nothing seems to frazzle him. Like you'll watch a John Rahm, and he's an emotional player, but that feeds his good positive emotion, feeds him. But I also think the negative emotion can feed some of the bad shots sometimes with him, or he takes an extra risk, or maybe that he's not, or he's getting ahead of himself. Where I think Scotty just is so methodical, Hogan-esque. He just gets up, goes through his routine, hits the best shot he can, walks up, finds it, hits the best shot he can. And the thing is, he hits the best shot a lot. And I can't remember seeing a player who could control their iron distances as well. I know they talk about it on the TV a lot and stuff, but that's, as a good player, that's one of the most important things you can do. You're going to miss them left and right a little bit. The ball curves, there's wind, but if you can control how far you're hitting it, that's a tremendous asset. And he seems to be able to do it from anywhere, the rough, fairway, the bunker, whatever. He controls his distance great, and now he's got to be just exuding confidence the next day for the U.S. Open here in a couple weeks.
He's dominating like Tiger, but doing it in a different way. Tiger, as you've always said, the best putter that ever was. Mm-hmm. Scheffler is in tour standards average. When he putts well, he runs away with tournaments because his game from the tee to green here, we love using that phrase, from tee to green is just so much better than anybody else. So if his putter is semi-decent, he usually wins, which is, again, probably what, the stats would say this week, what he was strokes gained off the tee, approach, again, near the top. There was one, I think it was his third round, he was 17th in stroke games putting. If he has a day like that, he's always going to win. Yeah,
because his ball striking is far superior, I feel, to everybody. And he does it differently. I mean, he is long. If you look, he's a big, strong man. If you've ever seen him in person, he's not a thin, wispy guy. He can bash it. And every time you watch him hit, it's 315, 325, 330. So he's not on the short end. And his putting, if he has a mediocre day, he's 17th, right? Yeah, like you said, then he's so much better than everybody else, and he hits so many greens. And I don't think he gets enough credit for his short game, too. He does tend to get up and down from some really nasty spots, and he's pretty creative around the greens.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mentioned Tiger a few times in their comparison. Scheffler obviously off to a great start, still 28 years old.
Which is wild, right? He's only 20. He looks older. That's part of it.
He does look older, too. Yes. Yeah, he composes himself like he's been on tour for a decade or more.
And 10 years ago, he was playing high school golf.
I know. Scheffler, by the way, if you're thinking like, okay, can he – I think a few weeks ago we talked about how many wins can he end up with, that he is up to 14, now 15.
He has more wins than the Carolina Panthers I saw in the last since 21 or something like that. Yeah,
I know. So Scheffler, if he's going to catch up to Tiger or get on Tiger's pace, Scotty's going to have to win 56
more
of his next 110 starts to catch up to Tiger's win rate that he had through his first 250 events.
I don't think that will happen. I'd be surprised.
That's greater than a 50-50 clip.
Yeah, Rory's still in there, and there's still a lot of good players, and guys haven't peaked yet. And 2-3 years ago, we weren't talking about Scotty that much. Xander, Schauffele, and we've always been talking about Rory, I feel like, forever. But now he's launched himself into the upper echelon of anybody who's ever played the game.
For Scheffler, who now has 15 PGA Tour wins and 3 majors.
That's a good career right there.
There's only 3 golfers that have done that before at 28 or younger. 15 PGA Tour wins and 3 majors before age 29. It's Nicklaus, it's Woods, and it's Scheffler. That's it.
That's a nice company. That's kind of like Rory when he joined that crowd of career Grand Slam. That's a unique comparison right there. That's pretty cool. Yeah, it's hard to think he's only 28. He hasn't even hit 30 yet. Think how much better, because typically he's entering his prime years as a player, I would say. 28 to 38 or so are probably your best years to play the game. And he's just getting there. So it's going to be fun to watch for a while.
Now, we've seen McIlroy have that run initially, and then he obviously has had a great career. But in majors, he went through a decade-long drought before he finally got it done this year to get that Grand Slam. Spieth got off to a super fast start at a young age, got those majors right away, got 3 of the first 4 legs of the Grand Slam. He's been struggling to keep a consistent game going.
Yeah.
Can Scheffler keep this longevity. And maybe, I hate to bring up Tiger again, but this is why I'm so impressed with what Tiger was able to do, is that there was never, other than injury, there was never a gap in Tiger's dominance here. Scheffler's been now dominant here going on 3 years. Can he keep it going for another decade?
Yeah, that's what you never know.
Hard.
Yeah, you never. I mean, he's made so much money. He's done so much in golf. Can he stay internally motivated to keep grinding and working as hard as he does? He doesn't seem like a guy who cares much about the fame or the stardom that goes with it. So I doubt the away from the course things. He seems like a pretty grounded, pretty normal, like father who'd coach your daughter's soccer team on the weekends type of guy. And so that kind of grounding and that kind of simplicity of lifestyle might lead to him playing great, or it might lead to him saying, I've done so much, maybe I just want to hang out with my wife and kids a little bit more. That's what you never know, what's going on inside their body and their brain. Physically, he's in his prime, so he's got lots of time. He's young, he's got lots of energy. I imagine he can keep it going for a while longer, because he's still got a lot to achieve. And if you're motivated like him, there's still a lot if you want to keep on this pace, you got to work hard. I bet he wants to win every major. I bet he wants to go down as one of the greatest players in the history of the game. I'm sure everybody does. So he's in the peak there. I think he's got another 5, 6, 7 years of some really, really great golf. Kind of like Josh Allen right now.
Yeah, we hope.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, tied for second amongst the group was Bryson DeChambeau. Another day where we thought maybe could he make a run. He got close. He's struggling with his irons. I know.
I think it's the nature of his irons, though, right? Yeah, he's got the upright lies and the same length, and he hits it so hard the ball gets spinny. I know after his round he was saying that he needed to get some new gear to control the trajectory of his irons a little bit better. There's that's my problem. That's where I think the difference is. Yeah. Like Bryson always has an excuse, right? He didn't talk to me, and my irons aren't set up the way I need. I
gotta get
play.
Left spin on the ball.
Yeah, blah blah blah. The crowd was, but whatever it is, there's always something.
Talk to me.
Yeah. So and Scotty's just like, well, I didn't play good enough. If he didn't win, I got to play better. And that's more how I think, instead of, I understand you never want to blame yourself as a player. You want to maintain your confidence, but always finding an excuse afterward instead of I got to get better is a little worrisome to me. But he's such a good player. That's the thing. I mean, he can do almost anything on the golf course. I almost wish he'd just go to like standard golf clubs. I know they wouldn't work for him. So he could, I was watching videos of him when he won the NCAA championship, how different his game was. He used to wear that Ben Hogan hat, and his rhythm was languid and smooth, and he swung beautifully. Now he's very abrupt and very strong. So he's changed everything about his game, and he's succeeded at it. But he'll be interesting to watch too. He's a very good player, and he's really motivated too.
Another very good player who actually was tied with Scheffler was Jon Rahm.
Mm-hmm.
We know he finished back in 8th, -4. Didn't finish well on that tough green mile stretch in 16, 17, 18, but he had to play really aggressive. He knew he was down, but it was exciting to see Rahm there. Since going to Live, he's been very disappointing in majors. And whether you like Rahm, you don't like Rahm, whether you didn't like that he went to Live or what, there's no doubt about it. He's an exciting player to watch, and he was right there. I know in the end he was disappointed with how he finished, but that's really the first time since he's joined Live that we've really seen him like have a chance to win a major.
And it was great. And he's a Tee to Green radio show alum, so we're going to root for him.
We had him on 4 years ago. Yeah,
isn't golf better when he's out there playing in the majors and playing well and making things exciting? Because that's what you get with Rahm. You're going to get 8 birdies in a row, and then you're going to get a double or something down. And he's a very exciting player, very intense person, fun to watch play. Good to see him playing good again. Yeah, it'd be nice if these 2 tours could figure this out and we got to see him on a regular basis instead of just at the majors.
Bryson and Rahm, to me, if I was going to grab 2 guys from Live that I think would add more spice, more entertainment, more fun to the PGA Tour, those would be the 2 I would grab.
It seems like Dustin Johnson can't play house anymore. And, a lot of those guys, they don't have the strength of players that they used to. And the other thing I haven't heard is them dragging another player over, another good player in a while, it feels like. So I don't know if they're done doing that or if people like it better on the tour now or there's enough money to be made on the tour. But
do you remember when Cam Smith left? We were like, wow, this is going to be the next great player. And, obviously, we pay very little attention to Live events, at least I do, but he hasn't done anything in the majors. Koepka, we know, won at Oak Hill.
Mm-hmm.
Lately, he's been disappointing. But
he played strong while he was there, and he'd come back from that. I always say I just don't think it's as competitive, so I don't think you maintain your competitive edge as much, because it's 54 holes. All of a sudden, you're playing 72. You're playing in, fun of it. It's like a team event. It's all about fun and entertainment, and the PGA Tour is all about, shooting to score, trying to win it. And no one dreams of winning a live tour event. Anthony Delisante is not going, man, I'd love to win a live tour event in Greece someday. No, I want to win a PGA Tour event.
Absolutely. All right. We'll take a time out here. Actually, before we go to break here, I asked on Twitter this week, tell me your favorite hole here at Willowbrook. I said I would share some of them. We've got a vote for the 9 on the north, actually. Got the most votes.
Jim's giving it the thumbs up.
Jim Furlong here, the pro, says yes. North. Matt says he loves the scenic finish with the green surrounded by the lake. So, yeah, I got 3 people that said 9 on the north. The south got a decent amount of love here. Rick says the 4th on the south, a fantastic risk-reward par 5. Mark says, I agree with 4 on the south, also likes number 5. Teddy says number 6 on the south, a simple hole. Loves that green. Johnny says he loves number 8 on the south. He says it's his most memorable hole. He says why it's memorable for him. He said on hole 8, this is a good story from Johnny. He goes, hole 8 on the south is my most memorable hole. I just hit a great drive. He goes, then my wife called me and said her water broke. Needless to say, after I finished the hole, Johnny, that was the part you shouldn't have said.
Right, yeah, your wife might be listening.
Needless to say, after I finished the hole, I made par. I was able to get back to the hospital I was able to get her plenty of time to the hospital.
Yeah, maybe she didn't think it was plenty of time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the short, wide open.
Leave out the part about finishing the hole if your wife calls it your water book, right? Yeah.
Yes.
All right, Johnny. Good story there. Yeah. Thanks for chiming in, everybody, on your favorite holes here at Willowbrook. That's great. All right.
Golfers are crazy.
I love it.
Yes.
Tee times here, 716-434-0111. Or you can book online, WillowbrookWNY.com. With PGA Pro Jeff Meadus, I'm Brian Koziel here, Tee to Green live at Willowbrook. We're excited to be here. Willowbrook again today, courtesy of our partners at Michelob Ultra. Okay, when we come back, Kevin Sylvester live from Fort Worth at the PGA Tour event. It's the Charles Schwab Challenge. We'll get Kevin's take on Scheffler's win and let us know what's happening this week at the PGA Tour stop. Live at Willowbrook. More from Tee to Green coming up as our show rolls on. We're live on X. We're live on Instagram. We're live on YouTube at T2G Buffalo. And, of course, here on WGR. All right. Yeah, we can mention that.
This is for a report, right?
Yeah.
PGA Tour
We're
report.
Champions here.
Coming back.
Yep. I'm going to get the other 2. All right. Joe, if you could come back with the PGA Tour leaderboard liner. Thank you. Totally fine. Yep. Okay. That's good. Kevin here.
Did you call Kev or did this show?
He's going to call me.
Okay.
I got to get this ready. Yeah, it'll be right here. That's it. Did that. All these.
Quick segment.
Yeah. Correct. He's calling me.
Hopefully.
Yeah, he just confirmed he's gonna call. Yeah.
Okay.
If I have any issues with it, Joe, I'll text you to call him. Okay.
That's
Yeah.
just
Probably shouldn't be using this music.
not probably.
We shouldn't be. Yes. You're right. Yes, please. Yes. Thank you. Hey, Kev. Let me see if I can get you. I can't get the Bluetooth. Hold on, Kev. I'm trying to get you on. Why isn't it connecting here? Speaker. Hmm. Joe, I'm gonna have you call Kevin. I'll give you his. Do you have his number? Yep, I'll send it. Welcome back, Tee to Green, live here at Willowbrook here in Lockport. Appreciate you being with us here as we get to our check of the PGA Tour leaderboard. And it's the Charles Schwab Challenge from Colonial Country Club in Fort Worth. Ben Griffin and Maddie Shibb are your leaders at minus 11. Two-shot lead on John Pock, who's at minus 9. Chris Gotterup, minus 8. And, of course, we spent a lot of time talking about Scotty Scheffler this morning. He is down the leaderboard here, down at minus 1, tied for 49th.
Yeah. This and the Champions Tour Report is brought to you by Donald Ross Sportswear, your hometown premium golf apparel company. Find us in your local pro shop or online at donaldross.com. This week's Champions Tour event is the Senior PGA Championship, one of the majors, at the Congressional Blue Course. And currently 3 tied at minus 6, Y.E. Yang, B.J. Singh, and Cameron Percy. And a couple shots back is Padraig Headington.
Our LPGA report brought to you by Puma Golf Shoes. It's the Mexico Riviera Maya Open at Mayakoba. Jenny Bay is your leader. She's at minus 6. Miranda Wang, Biana Du, one shot back at minus 5. The leaders tee off today for the ladies at 12:40. All right, let's bring in part of our Tee to Green team, Kevin Sylvester. He's on PGA Tour Live this week. I've been watching him on the main feed. Kevin, good morning. We're great. How have the first 2 rounds gone here? We've got some names at the top that maybe our listeners may not know as much about. Ben Griffin, Maddie Shibb. What can you tell us about those 2? Mm-hmm. Kevin Scheffler, Scotty Scheffler, we talked about quite a bit in our middle segment, of course, coming off of the PGA Championship win, his third major. He's at -1, tied for 49th. What have you seen from him this week? And just, I guess, what's been the buzz around the course with him coming off of that win last week?
He seems like a guy. He makes a commitment. He's going to stick to it too.
Kevin Sylvester with us here on the line as we are broadcasting live from Willowbrook Golf Course here in Lockport. Kevin, you've played here before, right? You know this area. You know the spot.
Yeah, I know Bad Love's coming up here and playing.
Yeah, 3 different 9s, all different layout with the 3 9s. Yeah, really, really nice. Kevin, as we look into the weekend here, as we led last question on the Charles Schwab Challenge here, we mentioned Griffin, we mentioned Shib. Who else here around the lead do you feel like you're going to be keeping an eye on that you've liked their play over the last 2 days? Okay.
I like it. I like the bold prediction.
I agree. Well, Kevin, we yes. He hasn't won yet. I agree. Kevin, how can people watch you this weekend? Okay. We'll be watching. Kevin, thanks so much for joining us, and we'll talk to you next week. All right, awesome. Kevin Sylvester with us here as he is on PGA Tour Live this week, part of our Tee to Green team.
Hey, Scotty Scheffler had to switch drivers last week too. No one made a big deal about that, right? He hit a driver that was tested, was found illegal. What I learned is the more you hit him, the over time the face just wears out and it becomes non-compliant. And there were 10 or 12 players last week that had to switch drivers, from what I understand.
And Scheffler said afterwards, he said, we were waiting for it to happen. He said, I've had it for over a year, and it becomes, as they deem it to be called, non-conforming.
Yes. Yeah. At some point it'll happen. I guess if you hit that many balls that hard, they say.
Yeah, and it happened with McIlroy too. McIlroy did not speak with the media
all 3 days.
All 4 days. Yeah, he never spoke after it either. I feel like that's. Yeah. I wouldn't suggest it if I was managing Rory's team.
Tough to be a fan of his and see him not
Right.
Yeah,
you did all your circles after the Masters. You went on all the shows, the morning shows, Today's Show, the night shows, Jimmy Fallon. He's on, Stephen Colbert. He's wearing the Masters jacket. He's doing everything. And then this week you're at another major. You've already won the Players. You've already won the Masters. Like, I don't know.
Because he didn't play well. Doesn't his agent jump in and say, hey, just get up there and stand in?
And he didn't. I'm not saying he has to talk all 4 days, but when the tournament's over, you got to at least do 10 minutes, right?
Yeah, you got to do something. Yeah, that's your responsibility as a professional athlete in any sport that you're in.
Yep, I would agree. Hey, big thanks to everybody here at Willowbrook, head PGA professional Jim Furlong and managing partner Matthew Martin and great staff for rolling out the red carpet this morning. We mentioned their commitment to junior golf. Anthony Delasante, the best player in Western New York right now, and he's trying to get his path going to professional golf. If you want to support Anthony Delasante, they're having a fundraiser for him. You can call the pro shop here, 716-434-0111 to get more information as you can be a part of that fundraiser.
Yeah, it's an expensive deal. He's going to try to get, turn professional, and you got to travel, you got to have a caddy, you got to do hotel rooms, a lot of stuff has to happen.
But yeah, they're going to have a tournament here on Sunday, June 8th. So if you want to be a part of that again, you can go to also www. Yes, why do I say www?
No one does that anymore.
I know. Sound like I'm 20 years ago. WillowbrookWNY.com. Jeff, good show. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's fun to be up here and see this crew. And and there's a lot of players today. It's actually not so bad out there. I'd play today.
Yeah, it's whatever teeny little mist is happening here, it looks like it's dissipated.
If you wait for a good day, you don't always play, Brian.
I agree. Hey, if you just joined us and you missed our show, we'll have it up on our on-demand audio section at WGR550.com later this morning. Also, you can check out our live stream of the replay or any week on Twitter, on X, on Instagram, on YouTube at T2G Buffalo. Again, thanks to everybody here at Willowbrook. For Joe Cali back in our Amherst studios, Kevin Sylvester, Jeff Meadis, Jeff Blank, I'm Brian Coleshiel. Tee to Green every Saturday. Next week, we'll be at Glen Oak in Amherst. Hope you can be with us then at 7 a.m. every Saturday morning for Tee to Green right here on WGR.
Thanks, Joe.
Thank you, Joe. Great job. Appreciate it.
You too. Thanks, dude.
When you get the link, there's zero rush. Can you just send me a text so I can send it off to all of our partners and everything? Yeah, text me the link would be great. That's perfect. Thanks, Joe. Have a great Saturday.
Yeah, see you, Joe.
Okay.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye. Great job. Bye.